The Bhagavad Gita, a timeless dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, offers profound insights into the nature of the self and the universe. In chapter 2, verse 17, Krishna reveals a fundamental truth. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tatam, vinasham avyayasyasya nakaskit kartum arhati. This translates to, know that to be indestructible, by which all this is pervaded. No one can cause the destruction of that imperishable entity. This profound statement underscores the eternal nature of the soul. This verse introduces us to the eternal, indestructible nature of the soul, the true self that pervades the entire body and beyond. The Gita emphasizes the distinction between the physical body, which is subject to decay and death, and the soul, which is eternal and unchanging. The body is transient, while the soul remains constant. The body is but a temporary dwelling for the soul, a vehicle for experiencing the material world. It is through the body that the soul interacts with the physical realm. Just as a flame is distinct from the candle that holds it, the soul is separate from the body. The flame represents the soul's inherent nature. The flame, like the soul, possesses its own inherent nature and exists independently of the candle or the body. This analogy helps us understand the soul's true essence. The Vedic texts use the analogy of a chariot to illustrate the relationship between the body and the soul. The chariot represents the body, the horses symbolize the senses, the reins signify the mind, and the charioteer is the soul. The soul, as the charioteer, has the potential to guide the chariot skillfully, using the reins of the mind to control the senses. However, when the soul loses control of the mind and senses, the chariot veers off course, leading to suffering and dissatisfaction. The Katha Upanishad compares the body to a city of 11 gates, referring to the 9 openings of the body: eyes, ears, nostrils, mouth, and excretory passages, along with the mind and intellect. The soul resides within this city, experiencing the world through its many gates. The soul is the source of consciousness that animates the physical body. Just as the sun radiates light and warmth throughout the solar system, the soul infuses consciousness into every cell and atom of our being. This consciousness allows us to experience the world through our senses, think, feel emotions, and make choices. Imagine a light bulb. The bulb itself is inanimate, but when electricity flows through it, it illuminates the surroundings. Similarly, the body is inert matter until the soul, the life force, enters and awakens it with consciousness. This concept is beautifully described in the Chandogya Upanishad through the story of Shvetaketu and his father Uddalaka. Uddalaka instructs his son to dissolve salt in water and observe how the salt becomes invisible, yet pervades the water entirely. This illustrates how the invisible soul pervades the entire body, giving it life and consciousness. The Chandogya Upanishad further elucidates the nature of the soul through the analogy of a fragrant substance, such as sandalwood. When sandalwood is placed in a box, its fragrance permeates the entire box, even though the sandalwood itself remains localized. Similarly, the soul, while residing in the heart, pervades the entire body with consciousness. This consciousness is not limited to the physical boundaries of the body, but extends beyond it, influencing the thoughts, words, and actions of the individual. The soul's presence is felt in every aspect of our being, from the beating of our hearts to the subtlest thoughts that arise in our minds. Just as the fragrance of the sandalwood cannot be separated from the sandalwood itself, consciousness cannot be separated from the soul. While the soul pervades the entire body, the Vedic texts often refer to the heart as its primary location. The heart is considered the seat of consciousness, the point from which the soul's energy radiates outward. This does not imply that the soul is physically located within the heart muscle, but rather that the heart serves as a focal point for the soul's presence within the body. This concept is reflected in the way we associate the heart with emotions, intuition, and our deepest self. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad describes the soul as being smaller than a grain of rice, smaller than a grain of barley, smaller than a mustard seed, smaller than a grain of millet, smaller even than the kernel of a grain of millet. Yet this minuscule entity has the power to illuminate and enliven the entire body. The soul is not only the source of consciousness, but also the eternal witness of all our experiences, observing everything without bias or attachment. Just as a mirror reflects images without being affected by them, the soul observes the ever-changing landscape of thoughts, emotions, and sensations without itself undergoing any modification. It remains pure and untouched, regardless of the chaos or calmness it witnesses. The soul's role as the unchanging witness is emphasized in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the most revered texts in spiritual literature. Krishna counsels Arjuna to remain detached from the fruits of his actions, for the true self is not the doer but the observer. This wisdom helps Arjuna understand his true nature. This detachment arises from the understanding that the soul is distinct from the body and the mind, and therefore remains untouched by the fluctuations of the material world. It is a profound realization that brings peace. The soul's nature is pure awareness, a silent observer that witnesses the drama of life unfolding before it. It is ever present, ever aware, and ever peaceful. By cultivating this awareness, we can begin to disidentify from the limitations of the ego and connect with the eternal nature of our true being. This connection brings a sense of liberation and profound inner peace. The Bhagavad Gita explicitly states that the soul is indestructible. It is not subject to birth or death, growth or decay. Just as we change clothes, the soul casts off one body and acquires another, transmigrating from one lifetime to the next. This concept of reincarnation is central to Vedic philosophy. The soul's journey is not limited to a single lifetime, but spans countless births and deaths. With each life, the soul gathers experiences and learns valuable lessons, gradually evolving towards higher levels of consciousness. The soul's immortality offers a profound sense of hope and purpose. Death is not the end, but a transition, a doorway to a new beginning. The experiences we accumulate in this life are not lost, but carried forward into future lifetimes, shaping our destiny and guiding us towards liberation. The soul's journey is often compared to a long pilgrimage, a quest for self-realization. Along this path, we encounter various challenges and obstacles that test our resolve and provide opportunities for growth. The ultimate goal of this journey is to transcend the cycle of birth and death and attain liberation, also known as moksha. Liberation is not a destination but a state of being, a realization of our true nature as pure consciousness. When we free ourselves from the limitations of the ego and realize our oneness with the divine, we attain a state of eternal bliss and fulfillment. The journey of the soul is a process of self-discovery, a gradual awakening to our true potential. By studying the Vedic scriptures, practicing meditation, and living ethically, we can purify our minds and hearts, preparing ourselves for the ultimate liberation. The Bhagavad Gita's message of the soul's indestructibility offers profound implications for how we live our lives, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of our true essence. Understanding that we are not just our physical bodies, but eternal souls on a journey of evolution can empower us to live with greater purpose, compassion, and fearlessness. This realization can transform our daily actions and interactions, infusing them with a sense of sacredness. When we recognize the divine spark within ourselves and in all beings, we begin to treat all life with reverence and respect. This shift in perspective fosters a world where empathy and understanding become the norm. We are inspired to act with kindness, generosity, and love, knowing that our actions have far-reaching consequences, not just in this life, but in lifetimes to come. Every act of goodness contributes to the collective well-being of humanity. The journey of the soul is a journey towards liberation, a journey towards realizing our true nature as pure, infinite consciousness. It is a path filled with challenges and revelations, leading us to ultimate freedom. By embracing the wisdom of the Vedic texts and living in accordance with their teachings, we can embark on this transformative journey and awaken to the boundless potential that lies dormant within us all. This awakening is the key to a life of profound fulfillment and spiritual enlightenment.